Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, Kate Geek XX Chic, and we are back with another reaction to Dr. Stone. We're now on to episode 5, which is called Stone World: The Beginning. So very interesting name considering we're 5 episodes in, but in the last episode we ended with Tsukasa and Senku facing off. Senku had managed to create some gunpowder, but in his testing the gunpowder, he discovered that there actually are other survivors who have woken up and they were responding to the smoke, thinking that it was a smoke signal. So that's kind of changed the game for him because he very much believed that he and Yuriza and Kaiju and Tsukasa were the only 4 people awake, but now he sees that that's not true, and that changes the dynamic a lot as far as who's out there and what the, the overall group dynamic could be. So rather than, just dealing only with Tsukasa, he decided to focus on seeing how many people or how many groups he could potentially identify using the smoke signal. So he ended up burning basically all of his gunpowder to do that, to keep something burning. And Tsukasa, of course, eventually did catch up with them, and he gave Senku an ultimatum. Basically said, listen, either you give me the recipe for how to make the thing to revive people so I don't need you anymore. And then if you swear to me that you'll never touch science again, I'll let you live. But of course, we saw a series of flashbacks that showed us that there's no way that Senku could ever turn his back on science. So he basically said, yeah, I'm not going to promise that because I can't do it. And so it ended with Tsukasa saying, okay, well, if that's the case, then I have to kill you. It's the only way that I can guarantee this future that I think deserves to be will happen. So we ended the episode with what seemed like Tsukasa taking what he said was going to be a quick and decisive blow to take Senku out. So we'll have to jump into this episode to see if that actually happened or what went down, because we also saw that Taiji was running top speed to get back to them because I think he sensed that something very wrong was going on, but maybe a little too late. So I'm ready to jump into the episode, but just before I do, if this is your first time to my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. I do reactions to animes here as well as a lot of other shows, so if you'd like to follow me on this particular journey or watch my other videos as well, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell. And if you like this video, I'd appreciate it if you showed lots of love to that like button as well. It just helps the girl out immensely. That out of the way, guys, let's get into the episode right about now. It's the piousness of Tsukasa that bothers me. He needs to be knocked down a few pegs, and I can't wait till someone does it. Hopefully like a big silverback gorilla just pounds him into the ground. Absolute worst thing about these evil people, when they have to do the monologues. Like, can you just speed it up? Can you hurry it up? But you didn't. Looks like it hit, but are they still the same? I'm thinking physical constitution wise, they might have changed a lot. Because remember, their faces are cracked now, so. Shut up and go! Go! Don't you have somewhere to go? Oh my god. He doesn't care enough about you. You are so narcissistic. Be on your way. No one cares about you. Catch! It's a new game we're playing. Okay. You might think they're simpletons, but they remember instructions well. It's true. Brains will always win over brawn. Thank you, dummy. That's right. We've gone to space together. Besties forever. You couldn't relate because no one likes your ass. Have a nice blast, bitch. Sadly, I think he survived that because he's so OP'd it's not even funny. But the theatrics are beautiful.
かすり傷一つ負うとも思っていなかったはずだ。さらばだ、つかさ。
Yeah, they're leaving.
逃げるときは必ず一緒にだ。誰が何と言おうと俺は信じんぞ。お前は知らん。
I'll go with that. He's like, just by sheer willpower, you're gonna defy actual biology and stay alive. But again, like I said, I feel like their bodies have changed. No way you stay preserved like that for that many years.
確実に首の頸神経を砕いた。
Believe that and go off by yourself and leave us alone.
どんな蘇生処置をしても無意味だ。
You're basing it on the fact that he's still practically the same human body.
いや、人工呼吸か。
Why are your lips so long? And also, yes, CPR is if the heart stops. It has nothing to do with the actual neck being broken.
代わりに犠牲に。
心理テストだったよ。なんやかんや事故で。
Look, Senku acts like he's all facts and numbers, but the kid's got a heart for people he cares about.
友達が恋人で迷いまくって積みそう。
いや、秒で自分でしょ。全員が助かるルールを一から探す。
ありなのかそれ。じゃあ俺もそれだ。
Right? He's like, I want to be cool too. Those are horrible questions, by the way. No one ever wants to have to choose between people they love, no matter what the type of relationship that they have. That's like completely contrary to human nature.
何かヒントが。
Shinto. Oh, the crack. They did make sure to show that twice.
昔からの癖じゃない。なんであんな首ばっかり気にして。
You mean his neck has been broken this whole time? Some weird genetic freak?
首のとこに石化が少し残って。大志くん、石炭復活液。
繋がるんじゃないのか。
Oh, Senku's gonna be so proud of you guys for figuring this out on your own because he couldn't tell you all because you would have blown it. You probably should have left that though. Sure, shut up. Shh. Shh. This 8-man has crazy hearing. Can you stop? Bro, I'm gonna need you to turn it down about 2,000%. Acting like this guy wouldn't have followed you. You don't know, he might. He's clearly not a dummy. Oh, were you out in space? Your version of heaven?
動けなくなってから。
Okay, this is a flashback. Truthfully, that would be like my worst nightmare, guys. Think of having sleep paralysis for 3,000 years. I feel like people probably willfully died inside of their petrification.
Okiro.
Okio? Not his hair. Okay, we get to finally see his first date. Bro was just sitting here naked for how long, figuring all this out? Yeah, they're like, cover up, sir. You've got children. Not the scribble. Oh! Oh, the shade. I mean, I was joking, but I guess so. Not the fig leaf, how biblical. That was quite the presumption. Can you convert that into years, please? Because, you know, your girl doesn't do math. You're worried about going to space when you don't even have a functioning toilet yet, sir. Can we just do this in steps? But you have to appreciate the determination, you know, of him just forgetting the fact that where we are today with all these gadgets and gizmos that we have, it took us over 7,000 years to get here. And we lost technology so many times too because of wars, etc. Like it's not going to be overnight. You're not going to live to see space. Yeah, I don't know if you've ever actually tried to start a fire that way, guys, but it's crazy hard. Crazy hard. The commentary by the monkeys is actually funny. New hypothesis, learn and try again. Look at you. That's why, I mean, brawn is amazing. And I appreciate it deeply. But brains are sexy.
今度はずっとくねくねしとるで
Beavis and Butthead over here.
つまり燃焼だ
Oh, not you freaking out the monkeys. They're gonna attack you in your sleep because you keep messing up their habitat. No, leave Bambi alone. Eat the nuts. Yes, eat nuts and berries. He was absolutely relentless in those 6 months before Taiju joined him, hey? But again, so I'm saying a scientific brain never stops. Problem solving, it's something that becomes like a drug. You gotta keep solving the next problem. The weaving, so intricate.
はじめましてだな
This monkey perspective is insane.
ゼロからな
That's an objective. That's a goal, and it'll definitely keep you busy for the rest of your life. It's all most people want in life, you know, is just to have a goal, a true objective. All right, so that was where we're going to end the episode. We always check to see if there's ending scenes, and there's not. Okay, so we got backstory finally on what Senku did for his 6 months before Taiju joined him, which is nice to see. I mean, we clearly got an idea when he showed Taiju the shelter, and obviously he had clothes on and a few things that indicated he'd been busy, but it's kind of cool to see how he went from counting the seconds to waking up, and the second he got up, like he said, part of him, of course, wanted to jump up and do a little happy dance the way Taiju would have, but he was like, no, there's too much to do. I need to figure out what happened, where I am, the bearings, what's going on. Again, very just the brain that never stops on that kid. And of course, getting into that, he had both, well, a few things happen. First thing he realizes that he was not equipped for the rough, uncivilized world, right? He thought, oh yeah, I know. Then TV, they make starting a fire with just a wood, 2 wooden sticks so easy. No, it's not. If you've never tried it before, folks, give it a go. Just give it a go and see what happens. It's so hard to do, guys. It's really hard to do. It definitely takes technique, and most people get tired and hurt their hands before they'll start a fire. And then again, him trying to hunt from scratch or do fishing from scratch. Like, he just realized there's a lot of life skills that he does not have, as far as doing them the traditional or rustic way. So he used his problem solving mind and is like, you can apply scientific methods, which everything we have today, like anything that we have is a form of convenience. Our cars, indoor plumbing, heating inside our houses or air conditioning, trains, planes, anything, tools. Those were all from minds like Senku's, who said, you know what, there's a way to do this, but there's probably an easier way to do this. It's not as exhausting or tiring or isn't going to hurt people or get us injured. So this is where this kind of thinking comes from. And that determination and obviously having nothing else to do is what kept him busy in those 6 months and got him doing all that he needed to do, like build the shelter, learn how to weave, learn how to make tools, figure out which rocks to use, etc. So it's just fun to see how his brain works and the creativity that can come from having a logical mind like that. But also, it just gives us some ideas into just how smart and determined Senku is. So when he says that he wants to rebuild civilization from scratch, he's dead ass. He's not joking. And he definitely has the determination to do so, but also the understanding that he can't do it alone. So even in this episode, we see that he did get the blow to the head that he was promised from Tsukasa. But he, again, Senku's always thinking 4 or 5 steps ahead. He's a very strategic person. And so he basically knew that one of the outcomes would be that Tsukasa would kill him or try to. So he knew clearly that the petrification was still in his head, and that's why he didn't come up with another plan to try to evade. And this was a good idea, really, because thankfully Tsukasa is arrogant enough to believe that there's no way that he could survive, and also that there's, that he's won, right? Like, I'm strongest, I won. I outplayed the smart guy. And I will give Tsukasa his props. He's not a dummy, but I don't think he's as smart as Senku, right? Senku is just a little bit smarter and just a little bit more strategic than Tsukasa is. So thank goodness for that. And also, they're both arrogant, which is interesting, but the kind of arrogance Senku has is on a different, it's not the narcissistic type of arrogance. It's more a bloated sense of ego around his intelligence or his intellect, right? Because he always calls everyone else simpletons. But anyway, so he already thought ahead of that potential possibility that he wouldn't make it out of there. And he knew, well, he was hoping, because it's a hypothesis, because he's never died before, that the petrification in the back of his head would save him, and that he was really taking a huge gamble really on Taiji remembering what he told him about all the petrification and what he's learned this whole time. So that's one thing we got to give Taiji credit for. Like, he may not be the kind of guy to come up with the smart ideas, but the kid's got a memory like a steel trap. He does remember things really, really well, and thankfully he remembered all of that. And again, with Urasa's help, they figured out that if they, take off the petrification, hopefully the body will heal and we'll get Senku back. So that was a cool plan. Again, a huge gamble. If he used to do his percentages, I don't think he would have said 10 billion% chance he'd come back, but it was a big shot in the dark. And like you said, it's one where if it works, we all get away from Tsukasa and we all get away alive. So yeah, as far as him, was that it? Yeah, I think that was pretty much it. I was actually surprised that Tsukasa didn't notice the other signal fires. Maybe he was too busy. I guess he was quite distracted by the gunpowder. But I'm really surprised he didn't notice the other fires were burning, or maybe he just didn't think much of it. But yeah, we'll have to see what happens, because he's going to go back to the shelter. Obviously, he's going to try to revive people himself. But what I predicted back in episode 2, it seems to be coming true. I think there's very much going to be Tsukasa over there, because now that he does have the recipe for the revival fluid, he's going to start reviving who he thinks he needs to get, and he's going to clearly want people who are going to follow him fairly without question. And then we're going to have wherever our little group of people, Senku, Taiju, and Uraza, they're going to be finding some of these people out here in the smoke, and we'll see what happens when these two groups eventually converge, but I don't think it's going to happen this season. So yeah, another good episode. Great to get that background. I enjoyed watching it a lot, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching along with me. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up, and we will see you in the next video.